Hey guys, it's Elias. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in today. As you can see from the title, we're going to be talking about an issue that's plaguing the Honda 1.5T engine. Now, if you don't know what the 1.5T engine is, it's basically the main engine in every Honda vehicle sold right now that's not the Ridgeline or it's not an Acura or a bigger car. So it's in the CRV, it's in the Civic, it's in the Honda Accord, it's in Honda's bread and butter vehicles. So the 1.5T, I actually owned a 1.5T in my Honda Civic Hatchback, so I'm quite fond of the engine. But unfortunately, it has a terrible problem that Honda is and will be fessing up to and facing and fixing hopefully very soon. So what's the problem? Well, some people that own CRVs, especially CRVs, they're getting into their cars or driving around, and sometimes the engine will stall out on them. Now, what's causing that is oil dilution. Now, what is oil dilution? Well, oil dilution is when you get fuel sifting in to your oil and diluting your oil to a point where it's not lubricating anymore. There are fail-safes in an engine that actually shut it off or stop it from working if it sees that it's just not getting the proper lubrication, either by the pressure or whatever the case may be. It also causes permanent engine damage if your oil is diluted enough for it to cause other issues. So it's something that's not good for longevity, for reliability, and it's not something that Honda wants to be known for. Now, about a year ago, Honda actually issued a recall on Chinese engines. So in China, Honda sells a lot of cars, and they had to issue a whole recall for their turbocharged engines, direct injected engines, and it's because of the fuel dilution problem. It's a big problem, and they need to fix it. So what really causes oil dilution in cars? Like I said, it's fuel getting into the oil. Now, for the most part, it happens when drivers or people that own these cars don't drive them for very long. They drive them for 10 minutes and then park them. The engine never has a chance to warm up properly. And what happens is, especially in direct injected engines, you get fuel sprayed on the cylinder walls. It condenses because the cylinder wall is cold, so it basically becomes a liquid on that wall. And first of all, that's not good for the cylinder wall or the piston rings. That's not good for the wear of them. And then what happens is the piston ring goes up and then goes down and brings in that fuel into the oil. Now, if the car gets warm enough, first of all, it stops happening, it stops getting fuel into the oil. And second, the fuel that's in the oil gets evaporated out, which is what you want. But if the car never gets hot enough for that to happen, you're going to have issues like the CRV owners are having, and I've seen it in forums, some of the other 1.5T engine owners are also having the same issue. That's not good. So, like I said, one of the fixes for this is to drive your car longer distances, get your car nice and warm and hot so that you don't have any of these fuel dilution or oil dilution issues. That's something you can do. And the second thing you can do is do more frequent oil changes. So if you know you're not going to drive your car for very long distances, consider that a very harsh way to drive your car. Don't wait for that oil minder to remind you to take your car in for an oil change. Go ahead and do an oil change beforehand. I would say, within 3,000 to 4,000 miles, instead of the 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 miles that the car is programmed, I would do it in 3,000 to 4,000 miles, or at the very least every 6 months if you're gonna have a car that you don't really drive that much. And so that way you, first of all, help the longevity of your engine, and second, you don't have any of the stalling issues that people are having, unfortunately. So that pretty much wraps it up here. I just wanted to get on here and talk to you guys about that honestly pretty big problem. Honda's not known to having engine problems. They have transmission issues like I've had. They've had other issues, with interiors and noise and automatic transmissions not working properly. But engines, that's their strong suit. And for them to have an engine problem like this, where oil gets so much fuel gets into the oil that the engine stalls, that's not a good look for them. I'm looking forward for them to actually issue a fix and fix the problem permanently. What they'll probably do is probably do a ECU tune and change the way the ECU sprays the fuel into the the cylinder head, when the car is cold, the richer the fuel mixture gets, the worse the fuel dilution gets, especially in a direct injection engine. So that's something to keep in mind. Yeah, hopefully Honda gets their mojo back with their reliability. They're doing really awesome things with innovation. Now they got to come back and make everything reliable again. All right, guys, pretty much wraps it up here. Thanks for watching as always. I'll catch you next time. Peace out.